Discover the shocking truth of Job, what God revealed in the whirlwind of divine transformation. In the land of Uz, during the days when Jehoiakim reigned, there lived a man named Job. He was blameless and upright, one who feared God and turned away from evil. With a bountiful wealth comprising vast fields and a large family, Job was a pillar of his community, known far and wide for his righteousness. His heart overflowed with gratitude, and his home radiated with joy, as laughter filled the air from the playful voices of his children. Yet, beneath the breath of prosperity, a sinister challenge brewed in the celestial courts, where Satan dared to question Job's unwavering faith. "Have you not put a hedge around him?" the accuser scoffed before God, igniting the divine will. In an instant, Job's life was plunged into chaos. A whirlwind of calamity swept over him, striking down his livestock and killing his servants, while the news of his children's grave misfortune came crashing down like a fatal storm. Yet, amidst his sorrow, Job remained steadfast, exclaiming, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." But calamity was not done with Job. As days turned into nights, his physical body was ravaged by painful sores, exposing him to the bitter whispers of his supposed friends. They gathered not for comfort, but to accuse, to ponder whether his heart's hidden sins had drawn the wrath of God. "Remember, who that was innocent ever perished?" one friend insinuated, casting doubt upon Job's righteousness. Each inquiry pierced his soul, deepening the anguish that already enveloped his weary heart. In despair he called to God, "Show me my transgression and my sin," wrestling with the painful silence that met his cries. Weeks passed amidst the bitterness of debate, as Job fought inwardly between faith and doubt. His heart grappled with the idea that the Almighty might care less for him than he had always believed. The shadows of hopelessness danced around him, leading him to question the very fabric of divine justice and purpose. Then, one fateful day, from the eye of the storm, the voice of God thundered forth. "Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge?" Lightning crackled, illuminating the heavens as God unveiled the majesty of creation. In majestic poise, he painted the earth's tapestry with questions that resonated beyond human comprehension, revealing his magnificent sovereignty over all. Job was struck to his core, understanding for the first time the vastness of God's divine plan compared to his fleeting existence. He stood in awe, humbled in the presence of the Almighty, recognizing how small he was against the backdrop of the cosmos. This profound encounter began to shift the very essence of his suffering, beckoning him toward a glimmer of understanding, a divine transformation awaiting him amidst the wreckage of his life. Before we continue with this incredible biblical account, I want to make sure you don't miss any of these powerful scripture stories. Click the bell icon and select all notifications. These biblical narratives have transformed countless lives throughout history. If God's word through this story is blessing you, please like and share with someone who needs to hear about God's faithfulness today. Tell me in the comments, which biblical story has most impacted your faith journey? I'm always amazed how God's word speaks to hearts across generations. Now, let's continue with what the Lord did next. As the tempest of God's voice filled the air, Job's faith began to rise from the ashes of despair, igniting a new hope within him. The storm raged, yet he sensed a pivotal shift. What revelations lay ahead? What would God reveal through this tumultuous journey? As Job braced himself amidst the powerful winds, he recognized that his understanding of God was only beginning to unfold. The answers were sure to come, shrouded in divine mystery, beckoning him into a deeper encounter with his Creator. The story was far from over. Then the Lord continued to speak out of the whirlwind, his voice reverberating with authority and divine wisdom. "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth?" God asked, posing questions that hinted at the enormity of his creation, a cosmos filled with purpose and order. "Tell me, if you have understanding, who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? Job's spirit trembled at the weight of these inquiries. Each question was like a hammer against the anvil of his pride, breaking away the remnants of self-assurance. As God elaborated on the marvels of creation, the sea's boundaries, the dawn's commands, Job began to grasp the vast tapestry of God's sovereignty that enveloped not only the world, but his very existence. "Have you commanded the morning since your days began," the Lord continued, "and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it?" In these moments, Job felt as though the Lord was peeling away the scales from his eyes, revealing the grandeur of one who shaped the foundations of the earth and held the cosmos in his palm. With each revelation, Job's heart slowly turned from bitterness to a reluctant acceptance of God's magnificent plan. "I spoke of things I did not understand," he confessed, "things too wonderful for me to know." In these words lay the residue of humility, an admission that perhaps he had ventured into territories of understanding he was never meant to tread. "Listen now, and I will speak," Job said, his voice trembling, knowing that the mysteries of God are far beyond human comprehension. In the face of divine glory, he found a surreal clarity. His suffering, his anguish, had a place in the grand narrative of God's design. Then God turned his attention to the great creatures of the earth, the behemoth and the leviathan, speaking of their majesty and power. "Can you draw out Leviathan with a hook, or snare his tongue with a line which you lower?" Each question igniting new flames of awe within Job. "You cannot subdue what I have created. Who then can stand before me?" God proclaimed, revealing that control and dominion over creation were his and his alone. At that moment, Job understood. His struggles and pain were not solely the punishment of sin, nor a mere reflection of justice. They were the threads in a tapestry woven with purpose by the hands of the Creator. God was not absent, he was deeply present, even in suffering. Overwhelmed by the truth and majesty of God, Job bowed his head low and lamented softly, "I had heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you." As Job repented in dust and ashes, surrendering to the glorious mystery of God's plan, a shift resonated within the heavens. What did this submission hold for him, and how would the Almighty reveal the culmination of his purpose? And as the storm began to subside, the skies cleared, hinting at revelations yet to come. Would Job's faith, once tested, be restored? All of heaven leaned in, anticipation hanging thick in the air, for the answer awaited beneath the shadow of God's sovereign wings. Would Job become a conduit of blessing, fulfilling promises he could hardly fathom? The sacred narrative of his life was just turning. Then the Lord said to Job, "Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or who has given understanding to the heart?" The divine inquiry echoed through the vast expanse, each word drenched in power, a challenge to the limits of human comprehension. Job listened intently, his heart trembling within him. Under the weight of such profound wisdom, he realized that true understanding was a gift bestowed by God himself, far beyond any knowledge men could acquire through their own reason. "I am but dust and ashes," Job murmured, recognizing the vast chasm that separated the Creator from his creation. "Can you bind the beautiful Pleiades or loose the cords of Orion?" continued the Lord. "Can you lead forth a constellation in its season and guide the Bear with her satellites?" As Job's thoughts expanded to the celestial mysteries, he recognized that creation was intricately designed, every star in its appointed place, every season springing forth according to God's unfathomable plan. The clarity God provided illuminated the dark corners of Job's desolation. His suffering was not wrought from divine disdain, but rather part of a divine narrative threaded throughout generations. "You know the way of the eagle in the sky, the way of a serpent on a rock," God spoke, his tone unwavering, "and the way of a ship in the midst of the sea. How is it that you do not comprehend my ways? In that moment, Job saw not only the marvel of creation, but also the intricacies of God's providence. Each creature and celestial body fulfilled its purpose, just as he too was woven into God's sovereign will. I have spoken unwisely, Lord. Your ways are higher. I cannot dispute them, Job confessed, the repentance radiating from his being. The Lord shifted the conversation, bringing forth the mighty behemoth again with admiration. He is the first of the works of God. Let him who made him bring near his sword. The creature was no mere animal. It was a testament to God's creative power. The Leviathan, too, was unveiled as a being beyond human mastery, a symbolic representation of chaos and the unfathomable depths of the sea. These magnificent beings, untamed and unparalleled, testifying to God's authority and omnipotence. Who can stand before me? Who can challenge my sovereignty? The Lord asked, his rhetoric gaining momentum as he deepened Job's perspective. The earth, creation, and cosmic order resounded with the weight of divine purpose. Job grasped in his heart the meaning of true power, a power that was gentle yet unfathomable, like a whirlwind that uproots trees, yet the winds obey the voice of its creator. Filled with the immensity of God's presence, Job understood at last the heart of his trials. They were not random acts of chaos or mere affliction. They were stepping stones toward a deeper intimacy with the divine. His pain was a pathway, leading him closer to the heart of God, embodying the truth that the righteous may suffer, yet there exists an enduring promise of restoration. As the sun began to rise on the horizon, casting a warm light upon the desolation, Job lifted his hands in surrender. O Lord, I place my faith in your unfailing promise. In my loss, you are shaping my heart. He sensed the stirring of something greater, a divine shift poised to unveil remarkable mercies. And in that dawning light, a whisper of revelation gave pause to the heavens. There was a harvest of blessings that lay ahead, one that would echo through generations yet to come. The full measure of God's plan was unfolding, for from the ashes of suffering, a new purpose awaited. How would Job's restoration manifest, and what legacy would emerge from his trials? The promise lingered, an exquisite mystery yet to be revealed beneath the canopy of heaven's grace. Then the Lord continued, speaking forth from the midst of the tempest. Shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? He who argues with God, let him answer it. Job stood in silence, his heart heavy with the weight of divine scrutiny. The enormity of God's challenge beckoned him to respond, yet he felt the inadequacy of his words. Job's mind wandered through the shadows of his own lament. I have laid bare my soul, O God, he finally replied, his voice quaking with both desperation and awe. What can I say in the face of your majesty? I am but a man, insignificant in the grand tapestry of your creation. Teach me, O Lord, and I will be silent. Help my unbelief. The Lord's voice reverberated like thunder, shaking the very foundations of Job's existence. Gird up your loins like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Will you disannul my justice? Will you condemn me that you may be justified? Each word was a piercing truth, a challenge that went deeper than mere earthly discourse. It was the call for Job to search the very depths of his heart. Job felt the fervor of God's righteous anger mingling with his intimate desire for reconciliation. I am unworthy. How can I answer you? I lay my hand on my mouth. Once I have spoken, and I will not answer. Twice, but I will not proceed no further. With a humble spirit, he understood that he needed not to defend himself, but to submit before the one who knows the end from the beginning. Look upon the behemoth, which I made as I made you. He eats grass like an ox. The Lord painted vivid imagery, a vivid picture of the uncreated wonder that walked upon the earth. Behold, his strength is in his loins, and his power in the muscles of his belly. He moves his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, and his limbs like bars of iron. Job's heart swelled as the magnitude of God's creation was laid bare before him. He is the first of the works of God. Let him who made him bring near his sword. In the presence of such a majestic creature, Job found both terror and beauty, a reflection of God's own complexity. And the Lord continued, "Can you catch the Leviathan with a hook, or press down his tongue with a cord? Will you put a rope in his nose, or pierce his jaw with a hook?" Each question struck a chord within Job, revealing the futility of man's efforts against the might of God's creation. His heart is hard, like a stone, hard as the lower millstone. If one lays his hand on him, he will not remember it. The hope of man is false. He is laid low at the sight of him. Job contemplated the depths of reality. He was a creature of frailty and dependence against this vast universe ruled by God's hand. As Job pondered these declarations, a stirring stirred within him, the revelation that God was not a distant deity, but a sovereign intimately acquainted with the struggles of humanity. "Who can stand before me?" God's voice calmed, now resonating with invitation rather than confrontation. "Yet with all my creation, I remain mindful of you, Job. Your trials are not in vain." With the dawn that painted the earth in hues of gold, Job found strength and understanding. The promise of renewal danced on the horizon. Though the road ahead remained shrouded in divine mystery, the echoes of restoration were woven through his suffering. For in the essence of all that transpired, a profound truth unfurled. From suffering emerges the essence of faith, and through trials, God's glory will ultimately prevail. What would come to pass in Job's life was still veiled, but the vision of hope began to emerge clear through the mist. The whispers of heaven carried the suspenseful promise. Something miraculous and transformative awaited, echoing through the ages of time, even as the Almighty's hand continued to shape the narrative of humanity. Then the Lord spoke again out of the whirlwind, proclaiming with authority, "Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or given understanding to the mind?" His voice echoed through the heavens, each syllable resonating with immensity. "Surely you know, for you were born then, and the number of your days is great." Job trembled at the weight of the Lord's inquiry, the enormity of his own ignorance laid bare. "O Lord," he murmured beneath his gaze, "I have spoken of things I do not understand, too wonderful for me to know." "Declare, if you have understanding," the Lord continued, allowing Job no refuge from his penetrating questions. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding." Job's heart sank deeper as he pondered the vastness of God's creation, the mountains and the valleys that sang of his glory. "Surely I was not there, nor can I comprehend your eternal plan," Job confessed, his spirit overwhelmed with reverence. "Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it?" Each question pierced Job's heart, revealing the inverse relationship between the majesty of creation and his own frail existence. "Have you entered into the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you, or have you seen the gates of deep darkness?" The Lord's relentless inquiries left Job in silent awe as the unfathomable depths of the Creator's wisdom unfolded before him. Job was not alone, for the heavens were watching as he felt the weight of divine providence. Even the stars of morning sang together at his marvelous works, while the sons of God shouted for joy. "Is it by your understanding that the hawk soars and sets his nest on high? He dwells and abides on the rock, the crag of the wilderness, God continued, showcasing his handiwork and the meticulous care he exercised over all his creations. With whom, Job, did you share the wonder of such strength and purpose? Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth? Each phrase tempted Job to wrestle with the splendor of divine authority, yet he sensed the fragility of his own insight. Lastly, the Lord revealed, "The world's order is not a product of chance. It is woven with my providence. The suffering you endure is but a thread in the tapestry of my will, a will that knows no bounds, that transcends human understanding." As Job absorbed these truths, a flicker of understanding began to ignite within his soul. It was indeed a profound mystery. Divine purpose intertwined with his pain, shaping him in ways he could not perceive. In hushed tones, he cried out, "I know that you can do all things, and that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. I recant my previous words. I place my hand upon my mouth and surrender." His spirit yielded to the incomprehensible design of the Almighty. But the last whisper was a promise that hung in the air, waiting to be fulfilled. "In the end, Job, you shall know a greater glory than you can imagine. For through your trials I will manifest my steadfast love, and your restoration will be a testament to my glory." Even amidst the tempest, the winds began to carry a new revelation, a divine plan unfolding beyond Job's understanding, echoing through the corridors of time as the promise of hope lingered. What was yet to come remained hidden in the heart of God, waiting for the fullness of his purpose to be revealed. Then the Lord continued to speak from the whirlwind, his voice like the sound of many waters, cascading through the realm of understanding. "Have you ever commanded the clouds to pour forth rain? Or do you know the paths of lightning, that it might strike with precision?" Job listened intently, the weight of divine majesty pressing upon him, and he felt as if the very essence of the universe turned to face the Almighty. "Lord, I have no words left," he confessed, his heart heavy with the realization of his limitations. "Who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge?" God pressed further. "Gird up your loins like a man. I will demand of you, and you will answer me." Job felt the intensity of each question, recognizing that he was but a whisper in the face of such grandeur. "Ah, Lord, I am unworthy. How can I respond to you? You are the Creator, and I am mere dust." "What is your understanding of the mysteries of creation?" the Lord continued. "Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades, or loose the cords of Orion? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth?" With each inquiry, Job's heart sank deeper, the depth of God's knowledge unfathomable. He stared into the void, wrestling with the reality of his place within God's design. "O Lord, I see now. Your wisdom is beyond measure, and I cannot comprehend the counsel that directs the stars." The ground beneath him trembled at the proclamation of divine truth, as the morning stars sang once again. The heavens bore witness to Job's surrender, and the angels marveled at the exchange. "Have you given orders to the morning, or shown the dawn its place, that it might seize the ends of the earth?" God's words reverberated, pressing upon Job's spirit. "Do you bring forth the constellations in their season, or guide the bear with its cubs?" Each question illuminated the vastness of creation, unveiling a grand tapestry woven by the sovereign hand. Job felt the corners of his faith stretching, a transformation beginning to stir within. "All that I can grasp is but a shadow compared to your reality," Job finally replied, struck with the profundity of his confinement. "I repent in dust and ashes, for indeed I have spoken of what I do not understand. You are the Almighty, and I am but a servant." Then the Lord spoke as though inviting Job into deeper realms of understanding. "Listen, Job, for my purposes are greater than your trials. There is a grandeur in suffering that leads to glory. You shall witness the manifestation of my compassion as your story intertwines with my divine narrative." As words of hope hung in the tempest, Job felt a flicker of anticipation ignite his spirit, like a spark in the darkness. "Will there be deliverance, O Lord? Will there be restoration?" He yearned for an answer. The Lord's voice softened slightly, yet carried an undercurrent of power. "In your brokenness, I will reveal your true worth. Through your trials, nations shall see my faithfulness. Stand firm, for your endurance shall not be in vain." As Job absorbed these revelations, the winds howled with renewed vigor. A sacred promise lingered in the air. For what awaited him was not merely restoration, but rather an unveiling of God's sovereign purpose that threads through all of time. "Yet, behold," the Lord declared, "this is only the beginning. What is yet to come shall echo throughout generations, and your story will reflect the very essence of redemption. Prepare your heart, Job, for the dawn shall break anew, revealing an even greater part of my eternal plan." Then the Lord continued, with a voice that pierced through the silence of the soul, saying, "Job, who has endowed the heart with understanding? Who has gifted the mind with wisdom? Can you comprehend the depths of my compassion, or grasp the width of my patience?" Job stood humbled, the weight of the divine presence surrounding him. "O Lord, I am but a man of feeble thoughts," he replied, his voice trembling. "These mysteries are too profound. They surpass my understanding. I am a seeker of answers, yet I find myself overwhelmed by your majesty." The Lord, descending into the depths of Job's heart, spoke again. "Consider the creatures of the earth, the lions who roar for their prey, and the young ravens who seek their sustenance. Do they not acknowledge their dependence on me? In the wilderness I provide for them. In their hunger I hear their cries." Job, reflecting on God's care for the beasts of the field, felt a wave of revelation wash over him. "Indeed, Lord, you provide for every creature according to its needs. Yet in my suffering, I have turned my gaze inward and forgotten your unceasing grace." "Indeed," the Lord responded, "in the day of trial, when afflictions weigh heavy, do you not see that even in your pain, my hand shapes your destiny? As the gold is refined in the fire, so too shall your faith be tested, and what is hidden shall be brought to light." With each word, Job's spirit was further drawn into the depths of God's wisdom. "Lord, forgive me for my despair. I have forgotten your faithfulness in times past. Teach me to trust in you with all my heart, to lean not on my understanding, but to acknowledge you in all my ways." "Good is the man who waits for me," said the Lord, "for those who trust in my plan shall not be put to shame." Job, look around you. Do you see the vastness of the earth, the cycles of the seasons? I govern them all, holding them in my hands. Surely you are not forgotten. "Yes, I see," Job responded, his heart swelling with newfound hope. "Even the mountains bow before your will. How could I, a mere mortal, contend with your purpose? Let my spirit be aligned with yours, O Lord." As the wind began to soften, the clouds cleared, allowing rays of sunlight to pierce through the gloom. Job felt an invigorating warmth upon his face, a reflection of God's light breaking forth. "Your promises are alive, Lord. In this darkness, I feel your illumination urging me to rise above my trials." "Job," the Lord declared, "what comes next will be a testimony of my character. The restoration of the desolate will arise, and your brokenness will serve as a catalyst for hope. The nations will see, and they will know that I am the God who redeems and restores." A hush fell over the land, a reverent sigh of anticipation mingling with the breeze. "You have ordained my path, O God. Even through trials, I will proclaim your goodness." "Prepare your heart," the Lord warned, "for the greater revelation is still to unfold. What you will witness shall echo in the annals of time. Nations will rise and fall, but your story will be a beacon reflecting my glory." And with that declaration, the heavens rejoiced, for a deepening mystery remained. The unfolding of God's sovereign plan through Job was but the precursor to a greater narrative, a tale of redemption threads yet unknown to man. For soon, even those who walked in darkness would see a great light, illuminating the depths of despair with the promise of restoration and hope. And it came to pass, as Job stood in the twilight of understanding, the Spirit of the Lord moved upon him anew. The ground beneath his feet trembled subtly, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of promise. The voice of the Almighty resounded once more. "Job, arise, for your story is yet intertwined with my greater narrative." The skies darkened momentarily, and a brilliant flash illuminated the heavens, revealing a glimpse of celestial wonders unseen by mortal eyes. "Can you behold my creation in its fullness? Can you declare the boundaries of my wisdom, or name the stars that sing my praises?" Job, filled with awe, could only whisper, "O Lord, who am I that you are mindful of me? In your majesty I see my frailty, yet I hold to the hope you have breathed into my heart." Then the Lord spoke, "Behold, I summon the earth to witness the unveiling of my plan, for I shall gather your ashes and breathe upon them life. The depth of your sorrow shall become a wellspring of joy, your trials a testament to my faithfulness." With this proclamation, Job felt a divine assurance wrap around him like a mantle. "I shall proclaim the wonders of your deeds among the nations. Your righteous hand has guided me even in desolation. Teach me, Lord, that my afflictions may reveal the vibrancy of your mercy." The lightning flashed again, illuminating the distant mountains, and the thunder rolled like the voice of God echoing through the ages. "Job," the Lord continued, "know this, the suffering you endure shall not be in vain. For in every calamity my purposes shall take root. That which seems lost shall be restored, multiplied in the harvest of faith." Job, his heart stirring with an unquenchable flame of hope, declared, "I will trust in you, O God. Though the storms may rage, I shall not be moved. Your promises are my anchor, and your word is my refuge." As dawn approached, the first rays of light broke forth upon the horizon, and with it came the sweetness of renewal. The air shimmered with love, as if the very elements rejoiced over Job's newfound understanding. "There shall be abundance where there was lack. The barren land shall yield a harvest beyond measure, and in your restoration all shall know my name." In the distance, echoes of rejoicing began to rise from the hearts of the faithful who awaited deliverance. It was then that the Lord added, "See, Job, my covenant with you is not only for your sake. Through your pain, multitudes shall see my wonder and believe. I shall bless the nations through the testimony of your life." Job felt the weight of this promise settling upon him like a holy anointing. "Then, Lord, let my trials not be in vain. Let my heart remain steadfast, that I may be a vessel for your glory." "Indeed," the Lord replied, "the time draws near, for the mosaic of my plan unfolds. Just as you will witness, the sorrows of my people shall lead to unprecedented joy, and from the ashes new life shall arise." Yet amidst this promise, a profound mystery lingered, woven into the very fabric of God's sovereign will. For in the heart of this hope was the unfolding of an eternal narrative that through Job's trials, the world would glimpse a redemption foreshadowing greater things to come, a redemption that even now called forth from the shadows, waiting to be revealed to all who thirst for truth. And it came to pass that as the dawn painted the sky with hues of gold and crimson, Job felt his heart swell with expectation. The breath of the Almighty stirred around him like a gentle wind, whispering secrets known only to the heavens. "What will you do next, O Lord?" he pondered, his soul alight with anticipation. Upon the mountains, the heavens opened up, and a resounding voice filled the atmosphere with divine authority. "Job, prepare your heart, for the dawn of your restoration is at hand. Yet heed my words. Wisdom shall be your guide in this journey. Seek not only to understand, but to embrace my purpose." Job lifted his head, resolve filling his spirit like new wine. "Speak, Lord, for your servant hears." He felt a palpable shift in the air, as though the world itself awaited the unfolding of divine revelation. Then, as if responding to his yearning, the earth trembled once more, quaking beneath the weight of divine promises. "I will show you, Job," the Lord declared, "that the sorrows you have faced are but the threshold of greater joy. For in the depths of your trials, the foundations of faith shall be established. From the flint of your despair, I shall forge a spirit of resilience." The skies grew darker, swirling with tempestuous clouds as thunder rumbled, a sign of God's majesty drawing near. "Can you hear the call of the heavens?" the Almighty continued. "Can you fathom the depths of what lies ahead? These trials have sanctified you, and you shall rise to greater heights than ever before." Amidst the crackling energy of the storm, Job felt a stirring deep within. "O Infinite One, grant me understanding that I may walk firmly in the light of your truth. Though my past haunts me with shadows, I shall not run from it, for I know you are with me." "Indeed," the Lord replied, "for I am the God of the past, present, and future. I weave the fabric of life with threads of pain and joy, discernible only to those who trust. In your surrender, my glory shall be manifested." As the wind howled, Job beheld the tempest that mirrored the turmoil of his soul. Yet he stood resolute, grasping the promise that from the tempests, new life would burgeon. "I shall not be afraid," he declared, "for you are my fortress and deliverer. Let the winds of change come, for I know that every shifting gale propels me toward your purposes." In that very moment, as if heaven and earth were aligned in divine agreement, the tempest subsided, leaving a profound stillness clinging to the air. "Job," came the voice once more, gentle yet firm, "reflect upon what you have suffered. It is through your testimony that many shall find their hope and faith renewed." As the clouds parted, the sun shone brightly upon Job, illuminating his path ahead. He listened intently, knowing a revelation was imminent. "In the scars of your life," the Lord continued, "I am crafting a narrative of redemption, not just for you, but for generations to come. The wisdom you gain in your suffering will serve as a beacon of light." "What shall become of this new path, O Lord?" Job inquired, his heart now echoing with divine curiosity. "From the ashes," the Lord replied, "shall rise a legacy of faith that transcends your time. My covenant with creation shall be enriched through your life. In your trial, I am unveiling a tapestry that links all generations to my everlasting kindness." With those words hanging in the air like a promise yet fulfilled, Job's heart quickened with both fear and anticipation. For indeed, amidst his suffering, he was to play a role in a story far greater than himself. Yet amidst this divine unveiling, the whispers of a greater mystery lingered in the shadows, a chapter unwritten, waiting for the appointed time, a truth yet to be revealed that would change the course of history. And it came to pass that the time of testing drew to a close, for the Almighty, ever patient and faithful, prepared to manifest His promises toward Job. The heavens echoed with divine anticipation as Job stood, weary but resolute, his heart transformed by the weight of truth and revelation that had grasped his spirit in the midst of tumult. "Job," the Lord proclaimed from the whirlwind, "you have endured much, yet you have clung to hope even in the darkest hours. Now, behold the works of my hands, for I shall restore to you the fortunes you have lost, and render unto you blessings manifold." As Job listened with bated breath, he felt the presence of heaven envelop him, carrying a promise beyond his comprehension. In that sacred moment, the heavens opened wide, and celestial light flooded the earth like a waving banner of hope. "Your suffering was but a moment, a refining fire to bring forth that which is pure and precious," the Lord continued, His voice resonating with divine authority. "Now, as you rise from the ashes, a new creation shall emerge, a living testament to my faithfulness." With each word, Job's heart soared, each promise wrapping him in the warmth of divine love. "O Lord, I am but dust," he whispered, yet he understood the fullness of God's grace nurturing the depths of his despair. Then the Lord instructed, "Gather to yourself those who have spoken against you, for through your mercy they shall witness my compassion. Call forth your friends who thought you cursed, and share with them the unspoken miracles of my restoration." As the sun broke through the remaining shadows, Job's faith ignited a beacon of hope among his neighbors and family. The ones who had come to accuse and judge now found themselves drawn to the miracle unfolding before them. They heard of Job's transformation, and it filled their hearts with awe and wonder. Job summoned his friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, and in humility he shared his heart. "Brothers, I have learned profound wisdom amid suffering, and my pain has unveiled the depth of God's faithful love. Forgive my doubts, for I now know in my darkest nights my God was with me, crafting a path of eternal purpose." The air was thick with repentance and redemption, for they too humbled themselves, realizing their misjudgments. Together they sought the heart of God, recognizing that His ways are indeed higher than their own understanding. In prayerful assembly, they witnessed God's grace envelop them once more. Then, amid a gathering of joyous hearts, the Lord instructed Job to pray for his friends. "For they have spoken harshly of me, yet through your prayers I shall restore all expressions of grace," said the Almighty. Job lifted his hands towards the heavens, and as he prayed, the very essence of healing swept through the air. Divine restoration flowed like a river, touching his friends and stripping the scales of their doubt. Unseen chains fell away, and their hearts were set free by the compassion of a God who forgives. As the restoration unfolded, Job's fortunes were replenished. His flocks and herds multiplied, wealth returned tenfold, and new blessings emerged from places previously thought desolate. Joy radiated from his heart, illuminating the community, stirring them all to proclaim, "We have seen the hand of God upon His servant." The sun set low, casting a golden light, and Job rejoiced in the existence of new life. He had new children, each one a gift woven from heaven. "The Lord has indeed turned my mourning into dancing," Job cried, overwhelmed by the swells of affection that filled his soul. In those days, Job became a man of great honor and influence, serving as a beacon of faith amidst the trials of the world. He shared his testimony of God's unyielding love, teaching all who would listen that from the depths of despair emerges unimaginable beauty. His life became a melody of hope sung across generations, echoing through the valleys and mountains alike.
And thus it was that Job, once a man tested beyond measure, became a living banner of God's restorative power. His heart, once burdened by shadows, now danced in the light of his everlasting promise. In the fullness of time, the world knew Job's story, not merely as a tale of suffering, but as a proclamation of the indomitable faithfulness of God who redeems, restores, and resurrects. Let all who hear this message embrace the journey of trials as a passage to spiritual elevation, for true healing and restoration stems from laying our lives before the Almighty, trusting in His ways, even when we cannot see. Brothers and sisters in faith, remember this: your pain has a purpose, and in the flicker of hope, you will find the dawn breaking anew. Embrace your stories, for they hold the power
to change lives. As we conclude, I urge you, subscribe immediately so that you do not miss the next powerful biblical stories that will uncover God's deeper truths and promises. Leave a like now to help spread God's word through the algorithm of grace. Let His light shine. Reflect in the comments on how this story of Job has impacted your faith journey. Your testimony is powerful. Finally, share instantly with at least 5 friends who need to hear God's truth today. Don't wait even one more second. Be a vessel of inspiration, and let's spread His unfailing love together.